We're back. Hopefully we're live. Hopefully we're somewhere. But let's record this also. I can't see though. Just in case we go out again, so at least we have it for us personal use.
Yep, absolutely.
But Coastal just scored their first touchdown. I don't know if it cut out before that, but Hudson was able to find Graves on a long 50-yarder. Here's the kickoff, going to be returned from the 10-yard line. And he got a big lane to the right side, and no one's in front of him, and he will go all the way. And that was Chris Carpenter with the quick response to Coastal's first touchdown as he blows kisses to the stands.
Referees trying to corral them, push them back to their sideline. Man, just when you thought Coastal was going to get a little bit of momentum, UTSA seizes it right back at this.
And that's why you can't get hit with those excessive celebration penalties.
Nope.
Or taunting.
Because that pushed the kickoff back a couple of yards, made it short of the end zone, was able to return it.
And the kick is up and good for the extra point. Scored 34-7. It is ugly. We got 14:40 on the clock. 2 touchdowns here quickly in the fourth quarter.
And now you got to see how Coastal will respond. UTSA responds and see if Coastal can respond right back. Haven't really been able to do so much today. 27 unanswered points for putting up that touchdown from Graves.
Beside Beta Graves, I mean, Coastal has missed on a couple shot plays, a couple big drops.
There's been some plays that have changed the complexity of the game. You said drop by Braden Bennett. You had the PI by Tucker. You had the big drop over here by Tucker as well. Even though it was a offside penalty on UTSA, Coastal still didn't capitalize on it and did not get the first down.
It would have been 30 yards instead of just that 5-yard penalty. But here comes the kickoff.
And then penalties have been a big issue for the Chanticleers, kind of like we've been stating, just self-inflicted wounds have been the name of the game for the Chanticleers.
Yeah, it's been a really sloppy game from Coastal. And here's the kick to Trey Taylor. A fair catch called at the 14.
It looked like the fair catch was called on his behalf.
Yeah.
By number 2, Trey Taylor. But it was received by not Trey Taylor.
I think it might have been Widener reeled that one in. Here comes Hudson in this offense again.
For the Chanticleers, you just want to try and get something going here. You got something good going on the last drive. Let's see if you can capitalize and capture that magic on this drive.
Bennett tries to get outside on this run, and it's brought down at the 30 by a gang of UT.
Solid run. He was supposed to go down 3 yards before that.
If Coastal Carolina, not a second of this clock can be wasted. You're going to be calling 2-3 plays from the huddle, and then just running no huddle the rest of the game.
Run that turbo.
Run that turbo offense the rest of the game.
Second down.
Comes Hudson with the snap. Throw it out wide to Bennett for a screen pass, and he's looking for any room of space. Gets swung around. He's still got some space to work. Now works his way all the way to the right. Now he's down the sideline, up to the 48-yard line. Maybe the longest 20-yard gain I've seen. Probably ran for a total of 60.
Little display of sportsmanship over the top there. Number 6, Kyrie Duplessis, and number 9 for UTSA, Owen Pee-wee. We're going at it up in the top over there, battling it out, like trying to rip each other to the ground. And as soon as Bennett cut back, I watched them dap each other up while the play was still going on.
Well, here comes Hudson. Gonna take the snap, throws this out wide to Duplessis on a screen pass, and that's gonna get one maybe if they're lucky.
Going back to that, what a strong run there by Braden Bennett, who hasn't really been able to get it going at all throughout the entirety of this game.
Now the Russian lanes are being filled quickly, or they're not opening at all. This offensive line has struggled mightily against UTSA's front four, as both in the rush and pass game. That front four has been dominant all game long. It feels like.
And it seems like since UTSA tuned up their pass defense, they continue to sell out on the run because they know they can stop it both.
As Hudson swings this out wide again to a receiver, and this will only get 2 yards. That is number 84, Zachary Wiedner on the catch.
I mean, little passes go a long way as far as confidence is concerned.
How would you pronounce that?
Widener?
No, the first name. Zachary?
Oh, Zachary, probably, yeah. This
the
looks like a
dash?
pronunciation guide, yeah. I'd say so.
That is
like
wild.
xylophone.
Yeah, it just was throwing me off. Hudson with the snap, looking downfield, finds his tight end short. I think that's.
And you're close enough to where you have to
Yeah.
go for it here. There's not even a question about it. Even if he was 3 yards out, you still got to go for it.
Zach Courtney with the reception there.
Even if it was incomplete,
Yep.
you still have to go for it. There's no punting anymore. Whether
Yeah.
it's 4th and 1 or 4th and 15, you have to do something.
Yeah, at this point, leave it all on the field.
The
See what
punter's
you
had
got.
enough this game to retire already. He's not on the team no more.
Pee Wee rules at this point. You're going for it all the time. As Hudson in the shotgun takes the snap, hands it off to Bennett, and a big mass of UTSA players are gonna stop him short, I believe, and it's gonna be a turnover on downs.
Hands to Bennett. Forward progress to the 40.
And the UTSA will start their next drive on their own 45. A short field for them.
And great effort there for Coastal Carolina. They were getting something going. They just couldn't capitalize. They couldn't convert on that 4th down play right there. And after the defense, you want to try and make sure that this doesn't get any more out of hand than it already has been.
Yeah, at this point, it's just hard to keep your head in the game, probably, if you're one of the Coastal players. You're down 27 points with almost just slightly less than 12 minutes left. So it's going to be a struggle to see, but we're going to go to break. You're listening to WCCU SN. Welcome back into WCCU SN's coverage of the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Our Chanticleers are getting walloped here 34-7. 11:33 on the clock in this fourth quarter. It just feels like the fate has been sealed since that big 21-point second quarter for UTSA.
Yep. And after this, campus will be quiet for the next couple of weeks as everyone is home on Christmas break. Yourself included, Cole. You actually graduated, my bad.
I did graduate, so I'm not on break anymore. I'm gonna into my career at this point.
He's not a gap.
Then McCown takes the snap, looking downfield. He got his tight end, Washington, who's working his way, keeping those legs churning, and he's still going. The pile is still moving. And I think they'll roll him at the 33. Or Houston Thomas.
Well, speaking of Christmas, what'd y'all ask Santa to bring you this year?
That's a good question. I asked for podcast stuff, I'm not gonna lie.
Specifically?
Lights, green screens, stuff like that. McCown hands this one off, and the running back gets out wide down the sideline on our right side, and gets pushed out around the 10-yard line. Huge run right there. That's one of the backup running backs. That's Donnell, I believe.
And UTSA continuing to gas the Coastal defense like they have been all day. Coastal hasn't really had an answer for any of what UTSA has thrown at them.
No, it is getting ugly now. The defense is definitely out of this game. Their heads are out of it now.
And that was to be expected, like we talked about top of the game, with so many playmakers in the portal. So many playmakers not playing.
Donnell only for 3 on that carry.
Ball goes to Bryson Donnell.
You lose an elite defensive lineman like Clef Lubin. You lose a defense was going to play not great, but you didn't think it was going to be this bad.
You lose both. Yeah, it's just been, once again, the players sitting out due to transfer portal and draft bites a smaller school in the butt. As Donnell is going to pound this up the middle again for a gain of 3.
You mentioned in comparison, it sounds like excuses, but you look at UTSA and you look at Coastal. Coastal has like 30-plus players in the portal. UTSA has 4.
UTSA has at least 4 or 5, and none of them are really factors in the team's success. Whereas Coastal, you have so many playmakers that had a difference on their games throughout the season.
Yeah, like Clef Lubin, Will Whitson,
Matthew
McDoom,
Kendall Carr.
So flag comes out here for a false start.
Like you mentioned, Vasco and Noah Kim.
Yeah, and they might not have been having the best seasons, but I mean, it always sucks losing your starting quarterback.
Exactly, and you want to take the guy with experience over.
And it was like a nice little 15-yard in route on a rope. And then since then, they got away from the pass early, found themselves in the hole, and then UTSA was basically sit and pass. Now UTSA 3rd and 9 from the 11-yard line. Fades the handoff on the jet sweep. Going to find his tight end on a screen pass and brought down instantly. There is a good play from a Coastal defender right there. Something we haven't seen much of today. Let's give him some recognition. At the 200 mark, as Sandell is going to knock a field goal through once again. He remains perfect. 3 for 3 on field goals. 3 for 3 on extra points.
Yep, he's going to
that is now 30 points down for Coastal. This game is officially, I would say, out of reach. I know we've seen crazy things happen, but the way that both this offense and defense are playing, I don't foresee a comeback for the Chanticleers.
Yeah, this would be probably one of the most absurd things I've ever seen if they did. But we're going to head to a break. You're listening to WCCU SN, Coastal Carolina Student-Run Sports Network. Welcome back into WCCU SM, Coastal Carolina Student-Run Sports Network.
The band trying to keep things light and cheery over here for the Coastal faithful.
Yeah, with 8 minutes, 7 seconds left in this game. Feels all but over as a Coastal fan. 37-7.
Yep. Feels like an actual Coastal game. The stands already clearing out.
Yeah, the fans are clearing out, unless you're a UTSA supporter.
Yeah, I don't entirely blame them. The
Yeah, they're not used to this weather down here.
weather mixed with the score, I wouldn't want to stick around either.
Weather down here.
The weather mixed with the score, I wouldn't want to stick around either.
I just looked up at the second deck over there. There's not a soul up there right now. I
You
don't know if
know.
there was one. I don't know if there was one during the game, but there's nobody up there now.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but there hasn't been anyone up there all game.
Yeah, I'm just noticing it now.
Because that was one of the first things I noticed that Trey Taylor calls for a fair catch. But yeah, I noticed that instantly. I was like, no one really wants to be in the cold today.
No, I don't blame them for that.
I mean, it was terrible in the first half.
Oh, absolutely. But then the sun curled its way around here. Now we're standing in the direct sunlight.
Yeah,
It's warmed up a little bit.
feels way better when the wind's not blowing.
Absolutely.
Thank God. It's Hudson takes the field, trying to just. At this point, he's playing for his spot next year as maybe it's the starting quarterback. So gonna try to get good tape as he hands this off to Bennett, and he's brought down instantly at the line of scrimmage once again by number 98. That is trying to locate a name for him. That is Ryan Buxton.
Now, Coastal Carolina's just trying to make the score a little bit more respectable. You know you're out of it. You want to try and get the end zone, make the score look a little closer than it actually is.
And as a player that's going to be on the team next year, you're just fighting for your player that's going to be on the team next year. You're just fighting for your spot, basically.
Yep.
Your spot, basically.
Yep.
You don't know who's going to come in, who's going to transfer in, who's going to be.
Next year,
Back-to-back very mediocre seasons for Tim Beck, too, after Coastal had a strong, 4-year stretch there. Going 7-5 last year. They ended up winning the Hawaii Bowl, 6-6 this year, and now getting blown out at the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
I mean, 2 straight bowl games in the first 2 seasons, nothing to shake your head at. It's still a great achievement, but it's not the.
Hudson on the free play tosses is up to Tucker, and it's tipped out of bounds.
To have a pretty eligible for bowl season this year is not a benchmark you want to say. It's not a precedent you want to set for your team.
Yeah.
You're going to sit here and you go down the list of players who will probably be here next season and probably won't be next season. Balthazar, running back, he's a junior. He's a redshirt junior. He'll be here next season. But then you're losing Tobias Fletcher, who is a senior, not a redshirt, so this is it for him.
Yeah. The biggest is the quarterback. That's the biggest question mark with Coastal right now. Who's going to be under center next season? As Hudson's in the shotgun, takes the snap. Gonna fire away. I think that's right on the reception. Nope. Let me correct myself. That is Seneca McKee. As the wind pins back up, of course.
And the sun goes away behind the
It
clouds.
can't leave us alone.
And it can always get a little worse.
Hudson takes off himself on this play. Just get down, kid. And he takes a hit. And now a penalty's coming out for unnecessary roughness or unsportsmanlike conduct on UTSA's number 90. That would be Chidera Otutu. Now Coastal has moved the ball past the 50-yard line for, I think, the 3rd time today, maybe 4th. If
And-
lucky.
And that's one of those small victories that you kind of can build upon. You could look back and be like, hey, you know what? It could have been worse.
Wasn't all terrible.
It wasn't all bad. It could have been worse. We could have been blown out by 70.
Ooh.
We could have
Yeah.
been like Tennessee on Saturday and got boat raced in the first quarter, and there was never close since.
Yeah. The first quarter of this game really gave me hope, though.
We waited till the second quarter for that to happen.
Yeah, then we got boat raced.
And we got boat raced, but it could have always been worse. I still had a blast up here, being able to bring the Myrtle Beach Bowl to WCCU and those listening. So to be here with you for your last game here for
Final call
WCCU
here
Radio,
at
the
WCCU.
victory
Yeah.
lap, last hurrah for you, Cole.
Yeah, I love WCCU Radio. They are my pride and joy. WCCUSN, my baby.
There you go, yeah.
I've
That's your legacy.
basically groomed it.
That's your legacy here.
I know.
Bright future for Coastal Carolina. You have a third-year head coach, Tim Beck. You're going to hire a new offensive coordinator. You're going to have this new shiny practice facility as Tucker with a nice run.
Yeah, nice little trickery right there. I was letting you take over right there because there was some nice trickery on that play.
Beautiful run on the backwards pass to Tucker on his way around. Got around the right side for a big gain. Gives Coastal some momentum, like I was saying. New practice facility, indoor practice facility. Hopefully we'll attract some solid recruits, some higher star recruits.
Is it projected to be done by next year?
It is projected to be done by spring, hopefully.
Yeah, they've been working hard on that all semester long as Hudson drops back, looking down the seam for his man and underthrows him again. But yeah, it's impressive if you're watching on TV. You can definitely see it probably in the background every now and then when going towards the open side of the field, but that is the new practice facility over there. And it seems like it will be very high-tech, very nice.
After that, they're going to be eyeing up stadium expansion. They're going to be eyeing up different fan initiatives for here. The future is still bright for Coastal Carolina.
Absolutely. Still a young school when it's all said and done. Let's go as Hudson hands it off to Bennett, who gets chopped down at the line of scrimmage. But didn't we join the FBS in 2012, I think? Something like that?
Sounds about right.
No, it was 2016 is when we jumped up from FCS to FBS because it was the same year that we had won the national championship in baseball.
You're right.
There we go. So 2016, we jumped up. So we've been on a solid 8-year run here, 9-year run as Chanticleer fans. You can't be too angry.
No.
As Hudson rolls out to his left now and throwing to the end zone, looking for Graves, couldn't find him. He took a lift, though, before he let that go. There's a flag down in the secondary, too.
Might be a defensive hold.
No, another impressive part about Coastal Carolina, really booming recently as of like just classes we're bringing in. I think the past 3 years we've set records for incoming freshmen classes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. The growth of this campus has been absolutely astronomical.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see as a student. I can imagine as someone like our president, Benson,
Yep.
watching that happen over the past 10 years is probably really excited about the future.
So shout out to Benson. Shout out to the Board of Trustees.
Yeah, shout out to Benson for letting us basically be right next to his
Absolutely, yeah.
president's porch.
That's incredibly clutch for us here at WCCU.
Yeah, being able to interact with him every now and then when he comes and says hi too.
He really is a man of the people, and
He is.
we love that here.
As Hudson takes the snap, a little RPO action, and finds his man Jamison Tucker for a connection and a touchdown.
That's Seneca McKee, actually,
That's
with
McKee.
the reception.
Oh,
A little bit of garbage time touchdowns going on.
McKee getting the action. See, we have an 8, a 0, and a 6
Yeah,
as all
and
receivers today.
standing here without binoculars, it's kind of hard to
Yeah, it's
differentiate.
Impossible to differentiate. The only time I know Tucker is on the near sideline because of the hair. But in that end zone, far side of the end zone,
I can just barely tell. My eyesight is superb.
got that 20/20.
Yes.
That's what we like to hear. I like to say I got 19/20. Hudson for the 2-point conversion takes the snap, looking for a receiver on a drag route and gets his man for the 2-point conversion. They're not out of it just yet.
There we go. That's like I said at the top of this drive. The Coastal just trying to make the score a little bit more respectable. Going for 2. That's a bold decision to make, but one that had to be made nonetheless.
That was Brooks Johnson, the tight end, on the 2-point conversion right there.
Unfortunately, no octopus for Coastal Carolina.
Any score origami happening right now?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
That's not my. There's people for that. I'll see that later.
There's whole spreadsheets for that.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't off the top of my head.
37-15's had to happen before.
Had to have happened at least once. In college, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like,
I could see it.
if you look at the scoregami sheet, you can see like all like the bunch of them. And you should probably see the one that's like the 222-0, the Cumberland Georgia Tech game, that'll never be touched again.
Never. 202-0. That's so disrespectful.
Yes.
It would keep scoring like that.
It would be our luck to be alive for that to happen, and then to be like, oh, and because someone forget about it, and to go on Twitter and be like, oh, it's something gonna be a score guy. They look and see this score happened one time before. The score is not a score guy. This happened one time.
It'll never happen unless they start letting AI play football, and they make those like basketball robots for football.
They get those robots out there on the field.
Those cyborgs.
I don't think that the fans would enjoy robots as much.
I don't think so. It's the personality that makes the game so
Exactly.
special.
I don't think it's the contact and everything. I think it's
No.
the human elements behind it that the fans show up for in all sports.
Yes, it's the fact that like every down means something to everyone on this field. Every down would mean nothing to an AI, to artificial intelligence.
Here comes the kick. Nice little swim kick right here, and it's going to be returned. Hopefully not to the end zone again, and he's right up the middle, and he's going to be cut down at around the 50-yard line.
Shore was close to breaking that one.
He really was.
He's a little frustrated about that. He knew he could have had one there.
I'll say he made a couple men miss. He had nothing but teal turf ahead of him, but able to rally to him very quickly to avoid a second return touchdown.
After our touchdown.
Yep.
But UTSA now will probably try to run out these final 4.5 minutes.
I don't foresee, because Colts has 3 timeouts, I don't foresee them really using any of them.
Yeah, I don't see that either. There's really no reason to if you're Tim Beck. As McCown hands it off the middle to Donnell, who's taking this right down the sideline and into the end zone again. Well, that's how you do it. One play, one touchdown.
Well, there it is. The run defense finally showed what it's been capable of all season, and that is
That was actually Will Henderson.
allowing such foolishness to happen.
When we talk about the run defense, it's less about what they're capable of, more about what they're incapable of, and that is continuing to run at all.
No, you're right.
It's gone consistently worse.
There's been some holes today to drive a tractor trailer through for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
They need to get back on the sled, and
it's just ugly. Every time you have a scoring drive to then allow a massive play.
It's absolutely demoralizing.
Yeah.
It's one thing to allow the kick return right after because, your offense just got off the field. They need a break. They needed a second, and they got that stop there. They didn't allow the return touchdown on that one. But then to allow a touchdown on the first play after the kick return, you just can't do that.
Your team kind of gives up because you got to find a way to motivate your guys through thick and thin, I feel like. So
kind of makes you miss former defensive coordinator Chad Staggs. Maybe just a laugh. Tim Beck already firing Trickett, the offensive coordinator.
Which is a little baffling, but which is a little bit baffling that Trickett was let go. Considering the offense hasn't really gone any further than when he was here.
True, but they also haven't really stepped back much. And Tim Beck, being a former offensive coordinator himself, being able to assume that role and kind of take the reins in that position. But I think there's going to be some shuffling going on in the coaching staff on the defensive side.
here's the kickoff to Trey Taylor.
And I think that starts with you got to bring back. I think bringing back some former players can help you. Bringing back DeJordan Strong, bringing back Teddy Gallagher.
Whenever Silas Kelly's done playing, maybe bring him back as a linebackers coach.
Whenever he's done playing in the UFL.
Mm-hmm.
Bring Norman to coach.
Honestly, yeah.
Did Josh coach in this secondary?
Honestly, yeah. Bring him in defensive backs coach.
Him and Tolbert, the OG Shants.
Thick pen.
There's gonna-
Hudson.
there's going to be a heavy call to explore Grayson McCall's, potentially bring him as a quarterbacks coach. UCF bringing in Mackenzie Milton recently to be their head quarterbacks coach alongside the reunion with Scott Frost.
Here, as Hudson was able to find, it's Tucker right there.
Well, so that's pretty cool. Wasn't Scott Frost his coach when he was playing at UCF?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe he was the head coach when they won the national championship when they claimed it.
Hudson swings this out wide to Bennett. Gets upfield and cut down at the 38-yard line.
In this game can do everything but end at this point.
Yeah, basically, it does feel that way.
We've seen just about everything except the end.
Now, here's the thing: with how cheap this game has been throughout the entirety of it, the players are probably already resigned to the fact that they're not winning this game. Now, you don't want to get into an ugly scuffle down there because they know they have nothing to lose at this point. That's the one thing that I would worry about as a coach and as an official.
Yeah, the fights. As it's already been a scrappy game between the teams. Kind of calmed down in the second half. Hudson takes the snap. Gonna throw this one straight into the dirt again. I think his intended target was right. 3:14 on the clock. Just run the ball.
For 4th and 2, yeah. On their own 30, just go. They're going for it.
Yeah, you got to go for it here. I don't know why you don't run the ball on 3rd and 2 and 4th and 2. Just pick it up.
We got to keep the clock rolling.
I'm a big fan of whatever the guy in the yellow sweater's doing over there on the coastal sideline.
Yeah, he's signaling it all right now as
Yes.
Hudson, shotgun, 4 wide receivers split out wide. Hudson's going to fire into the dirt again, maybe tipped at the line. Turnover on downs. UTSA will take over at Coastal's 33-yard line.
To your point with the sweaters down there, I'm glad that the new age with the in-helmet communication that we still see that has not gone obsolete yet, just yet.
Yes.
We can still see the big boards with all the pictures on them. We can see the different colored sweatshirts.
The big boards that have pictures on, we don't know what they mean. Like
Very
here on
common in college
UTSA
football.
sideline, I saw one. The bottom left corner had J. Cole in it, like Jordan in the top right.
Yeah, it's just one of those unique things about college football.
Yeah, I agree. And then the different colored sweaters, like you said.
You know who I blame for the strong push for in-helmet communication?
Oh,
Connor Stallion.
I 100% agree with you on that one.
Maybe
Connor
Stallion.
Stallions.
Yeah, I blame him for the most recent push for getting this in-helmet communication. I blame him for that.
Now the backups are in for UTSA. So we got a different quarterback in there who just completed his first pass. That's Eddie Lee Marburger.
Eddie Lee Marburger, who is actually, I have down, I'm pretty sure he's in the portal.
A shocking three-name person.
Yeah, I have him down. Eddie Lee Marburger, he is in the portal. Or at least so I thought. That's what it was listed as per 24/7 Sports. He may have withdrew, or he may have just decided, you know what, I'm going to put my name in the portal, see what I get, but for now I'm just going to play.
Yeah, let
I'm
me
gonna-
get some snaps late in this game. Probably not gonna get any contact as he hands it
Get
off.
some film up on me, see what so then schools can see what they like.
On the carry, backup running back was number 13. Matrius Davis.
But let's revisit before the game. We talk about MVPs. I'm pretty sure mine stands strong. Owen McCown had a very good game, very strong game, responsible for
I think 3 touchdowns.
3 or 4 touchdowns, a lot of yards.
Yeah.
256 pass yards to be exact.
Well, the second touchdown of the game was that 30-plus yard run by him.
Yep.
That's when you kind of felt the shifting of the tides in this one.
Yeah, he.
As we have hit the 2-minute warning, I'm going to send us to probably our last break of the football season. You're listening to WCCU SN, Coastal Carolina Student-Run Sports Network. Welcome back to the WCCU SN. We're coming out of the 2-minute warning. Score 44-15. Coastal got shellacked.
Yeah, there's no
easy way to put it.
Yeah. UTSA looking to pick up the first down and probably just kneel it out as a play action, and now he's going to throw that away. As our 3-name person, Eddie Lee Marburger.
first pass of the day for him. 4th and 4 now for UTSA. And no doubt about it, they're going to just try and go for it, see if they can salt the game away here with a first down.
Yeah.
Coastal definitely not going to use any of those 3 timeouts.
Going to try to lock it up right now. Maybe try to get someone to jump off sides.
Maybe get that first down for free.
Free. For free.
$3.99.
Oh, the Education Connection commercial.
Marlboro.
Oh, they do snap it here.
He's gonna take it off himself, it looks like, and he's gonna try to outrun him, and he fumbles out of bounds. Did he get enough? It looks like he just fumbled at the marker. So he picks it up, first down, and that should probably wrap things up. On the tackle right there was Miles Woods.
2 little kneel downs should do it here.
Yeah, as long as Tim Beck isn't delusional and draws the timeouts.
I mean, I don't know.
What? Again, you've seen crazier things happen every now and then. And they're reviewing it.
And they're reviewing it. I don't see the point, but we'll,
Just what everyone
in the,
thought they would do.
in the
I think he got
the
there.
battle of fairness and to preserve the integrity of the game, you do have to review that.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Wholeheartedly think he got there.
No matter how out of reach the game is at this point for Coastal Carolina, if they don't get it, if the UTSA did not end up getting the first down, you still got to review it. Hopefully it's an expedited review, a really short review, or at least a really short review.
We'll see. I mean, if Coastal's offense gets the ball, you think they're taking shots? You think they're running it?
I think they're just kneeling it. I think they'll just, or at least, at very least, run it and let the clock wind down. Because at this point, even if you do get the ball back, you're just playing for pride. You're playing to try and put a little more points on the board to not make it look as bad as it was, or as it is right now.
Yeah, let's take a look at these yardage numbers for today. 258 rush yards for UTSA compared to the 85 for Coastal. 256 pass yards for UTSA compared to 173 for Coastal. 24 first downs to 14 first downs.
We beat them in the penalty yards category.
Pure domination.
We beat them in the penalty yards category. We have 96 penalty yards to their 87.
This is as even of a game I've seen, honestly, in a while when it comes to a balanced offense with passing and rushing.
Yeah, and I sized it, like I said, I put that in notes, I sized it up for the game. They only had a couple more rushes than they did passes all season.
So they have reversed the call, and Coastal's offense will come out onto the field for one last time.
Oh, wow.
Well, let's look at the Coastal offense as it is currently. Definitely going to be a good couple changes coming next year for Coastal Carolina. Let's fill up those holes left by the transfer portal. New recruits coming in, new transfers coming. I know Coastal already has a transfer coming in from Vanderbilt.
Seniors moving on.
Yep, seniors moving on.
It will be interesting to see how this team performs next year, my first year out of college. So who knows? I've been the curse to many teams. The Steelers haven't won anything since I've been a fan, and now Coastal.
I'm right there with you, brother.
My first couple years, they've fallen off. We used to win 10 games before I got here. I got here, we were 7 and 6 wins. But
It's just the flow.
it's how it be sometimes.
It's how it is.
Especially at a smaller school.
Yeah.
It's hard to remain like dominant for a long time. That's why I had to give a shout out earlier to like a team like Memphis.
Yeah.
For 4 years straight, going to bowl games and winning is very impressive.
I mean, Boise State, for being a small school, has been consistently, a really strong G5 school as the official goes crashing to the turf during that run.
That was one of the most energetic runs I've seen all game from Matt Pat Jr. Isn't that a YouTuber?
Matt Pett.
Matt Pat.
Pack, PAC.
Yeah, PAC.
That's Matt Pat, who's the YouTuber, but close enough. But no, talking about Boise State, they've been one of the top G5 schools for a long time.
Yeah, no, yeah. Boise State's been dominant for a while.
Really propelled into the spotlight after the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. Been
Statue of Liberty.
been sort of consistently there in the spotlight now, reaping the rewards of an expanded playoff.
Yes, Coastal's runs the ball a couple times, basically running this clock out. It will be interesting to see if they run another play here. I don't even think they will, but they might.
I
There's
think
the
they have
Gatorade
to, though.
shower for their coach on UTSA's sideline. And they will be the 2024 Myrtle Beach Bowl champions, victors. As Coastal runs one more play that goes nowhere. Basically sums up the game right there. And that is it. As Zeros hit the clock. It's been an honor. It's been a privilege to call this game with you guys.
It's been a privilege. Cole,
Hey,
Cole, we're gonna miss
miss
you,
you
man.
guys.
We're definitely gonna miss you, man. We loved having you here. We love, being able to call games with you. Best of
having
luck
you.
in your future. Maybe one day we'll cross paths again.
Absolutely. We always will. I promise you that. Well, we'll see you all next time for next football season. I think these guys will be back for basketball in the spring. So you all have a good rest of your evenings. This has been us at WCCU SN.